Namaskaram, my dear friends, I am back again. How many times have you guys cried because of Sadhguru? Or maybe not because of him, but because the things that he taught us about life, the things that he has shared about how this life works, that just move us into tears. Well, this is that video. I will share to you all the moments, well not all because there's a lot, but some of the moments that have moved me, to tears. In a state of bliss, in a state of ecstasy, in a state of gratitude and a lot of love. So here it goes. First, I think the really first moment that have moved me like in a big way was when I got initiated into Shambavi. I'm not sure how other initiations were, but during the initiation of Shambavi, there's a lot of music going on. It was a lot of drums. And I know there was a process happening. But with all the process going on, something very, very big happened. I know something in me has changed, or something in me was ignited, or maybe something just came into me because all of my body just seemed energized. I knew I had a lot of goosebumps, and then I cried. I cried with a lot of gratitude in my heart. It was just so uncontrolled. I just couldn't stop. I just had to cry because I know something wonderful was happening in me. And that's where it began. That was the first of the series of moments that had made me cry. The second bigger moment that made me cry was when I brought Devi home in the form of a goodie. This was very interesting because when the goodie arrived, I was so excited. I had set up my space. I had made some offerings prior to her arrival. I lit a lamp. I sat there just marveling her presence because like it's so potent, you can feel it. And then I was like so happy when I was just around Devi's presence. And then, you know, the day has to go on, and then I had to do some grocery shopping that day. So I had to leave the room for a few where Devi was, and then I got in my car. I drove probably 2-3 miles. And in my head and in my words, I just kept chanting Devi, Devi, Devi. Like, oh Devi, Devi, Devi. It just started coming out. Like, there were no instructions that I had to do so. It just like came pouring out, came pouring out. 2 miles later, I just cried and cried and cried. And it really felt like I was somehow saved. Not that I felt like I needed saving, but I felt like I was not alone. That something way bigger than me was surrounding me. Way bigger than me was carrying me through this life. That's how it feels like with Devi. The third bigger moment where I cried was actually a triple I. Ooh, 3 triple I. I was there for a program, I think it was Surya Kriya. And I went to go to the abode of yoga where Adi Yogi's statue was. And then there was the Yogeshwar linga. And you know, we had to be in line to do water offering. And I really, at that time, I really didn't know what a lingam was, or I really didn't understand, you know, the consecration process or what it was. But I was just there and I was seeing everyone doing their water offering, and you know, I just want to participate and actually experience it. And so when it was my turn, we did the water offering, poured out from a matka, and then they said you have to touch the linga. And when I touched the lingam, it happened again. Like all of me was energized. My spine, I had a lot of goosebumps all around my spine and all throughout my body. And I couldn't help but I just had to cry. I didn't know for what reason. I just had to cry again. Feelings of gratitude in my heart just overflowed, I don't know how long I was there holding the lingam. But then in a snap, I know I had to move on because the line may get longer. So I know it was other people's turn to feel what I was feeling. So I had to continue. It was a wonderful feeling, you guys. It was a wonderful feeling. The fourth big moment where I had to cry was when I was chanting the Yoga, Yoga, Yogeshwaraya chant. Again, it's the same location. It was at the abode of yoga in the presence of Adi Yogi. This was not the same visit when I touched the lingam. This was actually when I visited and I got my Klesha Nashana Kriya. And I think before, it was either before or after doing the ritual, the Klesha Nashana Kriya, we had to be in Adi Yogi's abode and chant the Yoga, Yoga, Yogeshwar chant. And everyone had to chant, and I did my chanting. And then after a few repetitions, I just feel like My body has settled into something stable, into something so solid. And when I felt that, I just felt like I melted in that space, in that moment, on where I was sitting at. And I can't help, but I just had to cry again. Feelings of gratitude overflowing, like it consumes all of me. It consumed all of me. And I can't stop. I just had to chant. I had to continue chanting and chant and chant. And I know they said only like 11 repetitions. I really don't know how many more I chanted. And then after a few moments, I realized, oh, I probably passed already 11 chants, so I have to stop. And then when I opened my eyes, I think it was like just 2 or 3 people left. That feeling, y'all, that feeling. The 5th important moment where I had to cry was when I was in Nepal, in one of the higher remote villages. I think it was Simicon. I really can't remember. But the very first time I've seen Sadhguru in person, that moved me. That moved me. I cried and I cried and I cried. And a lot of my yatra mates kept on asking me, are you okay? Are you okay? Because I couldn't stop crying. I couldn't stop. It was amazing just to see Sadhguru. There were like expectations. I don't know, maybe I didn't have expectations. But I was just really so excited to see him. And when I saw him, he was like so far even. But even when he was far, he struck me so hard. I have to pick myself back up together because I was in so much bliss. I was in so much joy. I was moved. Then I was melted again. Oh, Sadhguru. Sadhguru. And there are actually so many other moments where the situation just moves me. When I was initiated into Shunya, the program was also really tense. I had to cry. There was actually multiple occasions that I had to cry during Shunya. When we chanted Shambavi, when I was looking at the Kailash, that also broke me. Broke me in a way where it shattered a lot of nonsense in me. And I had to rebuild with a stronger foundation. Kailash just moved me too. And some other moments, usually when a song moves me, it's usually when I'm in the car. It's interesting because when I start driving and I play a chant and then I cry. I cry when chants happen in my car, especially the Bhairavi Pratana, the Nirvana Shatakam, and Mat Pita Tumiri. I hope I'm saying that right. But remember that video where Sadhguru was saying where he was painting his barn house? His farmhouse, where he was using some sort of a cheaper paint and colored his farmhouse some vibrant color, or maybe not vibrant. I think it was like a military color. I really can't remember. But he said one time he just dragged his paintbrush from thick paint and dragged it down until it became thin and thin and thin and thinner until it was no more. And then he cried. To be honest, that is really illogical. Like, no math can add up if you just look at it for what it is. No math can add up why paint would make a person cry. Why the thinning of paint makes the person burst into tears. As illogical it may seem, I have had so many moments where I had to cry because of the same reason. It's not the same where I was painting something, I was painting my bathroom or whatever, but just mundane moments at work or when I cook, when I'm with friends, or I go grocery shopping, I water my plants. I've experienced so many moments where I just had to cry because I feel like in the things that I do, a lot of nonsense in me is shedding. Slowly and slowly it sheds. And every shedding that has happened, feeling of lightness, a feeling of liberation, feelings of joy just come rushing in. And my life is never going to be enough to offer gratitude to Sadhguru for having me experience life for what it is. Even in chunks at a time. Having to experience life, even just for a second, is so worthwhile. I know you all know what I'm talking about. If not, then I hope you all get to experience what it feels like to experience life for what it is. And for that, all the gratitude I have to Sadhguru. May we all be in bliss, may we all be in joy, may we all be liberated. That's it. Until next time, you guys. What are your moments of joy and your moments with tears? I hope you all get to share them with the world too. Okay, until next time. Bye.